Hello. I am having some connection issues. Some pretty bad ones. Oh wow. How is the stream looking? Because my internet is like, oh my god. Oh wow. Let's get into game and see how this behaves, because it might not like this. Might be very angry with what I'm trying to do here. Also, can I get the... Oh, dang it. How is the stream looking? Because looks fine to you? Let me know if there's like butt tons of lag, because I am seeing connection issues. I know that we were working on a field last time. It was field 3. Let's get some work done here. Let's get some microphone, get out of the shot. Let's get some work done in field 3 here, and that's field 1, Dave. No, like just YouTube blurriness. That's really interesting. There should be lag. Nothing too far different from norm. I mean, if it's mostly normal, that's fine. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. In these bizarre times. You might notice today's... Wait, is today Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. I was supposed to be on the Polish map today. Oops. Yeah, there actually should be lag. FPS drop. Yeah, that's lag. Obviously, the internet's being pushed a bit harder than usual locally, so yeah, there's gonna be some FPS drops, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, sympathy, I don't know for sure. Sometimes they just decide they don't want to go, and I don't know how to get rid of the stubborn ones. Hey, Alex. I legitimately don't know how to get rid of the stubborn weeds. If anybody knows, tell me. High spec has the whole mod. Oh yeah, I meant to download that. I haven't downloaded that. So if you're wondering why I'm using this, not the high spec, I don't have the high spec. And with my internet being questionable at the moment, I don't want to download something while streaming. How things been? Next question, please. Because, like, I have been, up until yesterday afternoon, just a ball of stress. Well, my entire life was just stress, and it was not fun. And I never want to go through that again, and it's Eased up a bit, but not much. Phone's a bit sketchy. Yeah, I know Discord is having some issues, but they're expanding their like the amount of servers they have at the moment to deal with everything. This is kind of a good time to have internet, but also a bad time to rely on it. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Hey Lucas, how's it going today, dude? Your stepsister's stuck in Mexico? Wow, okay, that's bad. Like... If you know somebody who's stuck somewhere, know that I am hoping upon hope. You know, buffering like hell. Yeah, my internet's... like, I'm dropping 20% of frames, more than 20% of frames. There's very little I can do. The internet here is... kind of getting hammered for reasons that should be blatantly obvious. So there's going to be, you know, some dodginess in the stream. I don't know what to say about that. The stream's going to be wobbly. She isn't done, that's another issue. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Sorry I'm not my usual bubbly self, but... this is, strange times we live in. There's not much I can say beyond that. We're living in, a situation that nobody really saw coming 6 months ago. I'm with you, Sympathy. I really am. Yeah, mine. Like, look, I'm gonna stream as much as I can, or as usually as I can. But if there are issues, please just accept them, because there's nothing I can do about it. There are going to be issues with the streams. There's going to be lag. There's going to be frame drops. That's all gonna happen, and there's nothing I can do to fix it. You know, I'll do my best to get streams out, but if there are days when I can't, when it's just not possible, then I apologize wholeheartedly. Can I pick the... You're in isolation now, so any streams a bonus. Yeah, every little helps. I know I'm stealing Tesco's thing, but it's true. Also, what I'm going to do real quick... I don't have a green screen, man. I've got a program running that is a virtual green screen. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to save, quit out of the save. I want to fix the visuals here real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that. See, look at my lovely test screen that I have up from when I was testing this program that I forgot was there. Legit forgot I had that picture in the background. Because I wanted to test this against Farm Sim, and I couldn't be bothered opening the game, so I just grabbed a thumbnail. I don't want to try COD Warzone because I don't like first-person shooters. I have a vendetta against them, so it's probably a game that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna play at all. Friend has to take 3 months isolation. Yeah. Everything's gonna be weird for a while. It's not going to be something that's gone in 3 weeks. Yeah, this is, Meadowgrove's underrated. I think it is as well, actually. I think, yeah, people kind of underrated Meadowgrove when it came out, and it's one of those maps that got a bit lost in the mix. Why do I keep hopping out? Everything's all set up so that I don't need to. Here, just look, all I'll say is keep social, what's it called? Social distancing. Stay as far away from people as you possibly can. Stay as far away from people as you possibly can, and wash your hands a lot. You know, that's the best advice anyone can give. I'm going the right way. It's the best advice anyone can give. You work in the retail world, oh god, number one, James, thank you so much for working, to try and keep the shelves stocked. Number two, I feel so sorry for you working to try and keep the shelves stocked when half of everybody's panic buying everything. Alex, it's actually 2 meters is recommended by most governments. So I would say 2 meters minimum. But, you know, as far away as physically possible is always a good idea. Just in general. That's how I live my life. Like, I don't like people. I don't like crowds. So yeah, quick programming note that I did put out on Discord earlier. Explain is not going to be happening tomorrow. This was supposed to be a Polish map stream, but I thought it was Wednesday for some reason. There's going to be no Explain stream tomorrow due to I want to play more Farm Sim effectively because I know you guys prefer that. So you guys will get a bit more Farm Sim. As it stands, I'm going to keep the usual schedule, but if this continues for a long time, I'm going to stream more because, hell, people need entertainment. Am I Irish? Yes. People need entertainment, and, you know, I'm in a position where I can at least help. And give people somewhere to talk and somewhere to chat, and that's kind of the most important thing I can be doing right now. It's gonna... things are gonna be weird on YouTube. A lot more videos are gonna get removed because YouTube is now relying entirely on the algorithm, which has been shown to be very dodgy at best. But they're left without much of a choice. Stop just seeing your daughter, Matt, dude. This'll pass in time. It might be a while. Might be a few months, but it will pass in time. This is not the end of the world, as some people seem to think. It's also not nothing, as other people seem to think. This is serious. It is a massive situation, but it's not the end of the world. Got the whole family home now, don't even know if you've got the virus. Yeah, I mean... You're off all week, they're class as staff days, you don't know if you're closed yet. School's closing could be an idea to start your channel again. I know that I've been advising against people like starting up YouTube channels because there are way too many as it is. But now is a good time to do it because it'll give you places to chat with people. It's kind of a social outlet. Yeah, you'll see a lot of new people. If you play a lot of multiplayer games, you'll see new people in them because they've got nothing else better to do. Nothing else to do, yes. They got nothing better to do, so heck, why not play some games? I know Steam had a new record recently of like concurrent users is 20 million. And I distinctly remember the day that they hit 1 million concurrent, and that was huge news. You deleted all your videos? Yeah. A quick thing, by the way, the video I was working on for the Science Channel for the last little while, I've completely dumped that. The information I was working off was number one, out of date, but number two, and more importantly, oh, the stream's at 0. Please don't kill the stream, YouTube. Hang on. Has YouTube killed the stream? Please don't kill the stream, YouTube. I need the stream to stay up. Because it's a faff to get it back running. Yeah, the information I was working off was 1, old, and 2, wrong. So I dumped everything because it was based on a study that has been since mostly disproven. I mean, the results of it, or the I'm trying to think. The results were correct, but the background was all wrong. I don't want to do a video about something that gets the right answer in the wrong way on the Science Channel, so everything I've done for that has been scrapped. Stream's fine. Yeah, it was showing 0 on OBS, so that's why I was a bit concerned there. Great demand at Harbour Shipping Dock 1. Is this going to be like a really nice great demand, or something that's useless to me? Something that's... Hang on. That's barley. What do we have in field 1? Corn. Nuts. Been a few people off, but there haven't been many teachers off, yeah. That's kind of the issue, Yanis. What I've decided to do, and I decided this today, because it was actually something that I was planning on doing in the future anyway on the Science Channel, is I have open in a Firefox tab, and I should actually download it just so that I've got it on my PC. I can transfer it to Spudputer if I want to. I have a paper from 1977 that describes one of the most... Actually, it's not anymore, but for the longest time, the most widely used method for sequencing DNA. And it was the study that detailed it for the first time. It's the paper that detailed it for the first time. So that's what the new planned first video is. Because honestly, and this might surprise you, I know how DNA sequencing works. Never looked at the paper. Never, like, I don't know how it was done originally. I've done it, but I don't know how it was done originally. So that's going to be interesting for me too, as I read through it and then work through it. You've had a dodgy toe for months, now the operation next week's probably going to be cancelled. It is cancelled already. I can pretty much say that the NHS have cancelled everything non-essential. Excuse me, Kate, could you please not? Thank you. You accidentally downloaded the Animal Market sale catalogue to this. GG, Xander. GG. I mean, there's worse things you could accidentally download to school computers, I mean. Yeah, well done. Hey, Stephen. By the way, when was it I last streamed? Was it Friday? Was my last stream? I said I believed exactly 0 people when you guys were talking about Matt's DLC. I was wrong. Like, I'm so happy to be wrong that Matt's DLC is actually coming. But it took him confirming it for me to believe it. Because it's Matt. It's Matt. If he says something on Facebook, you should believe it exactly 0% of the time. But the MP admins, how can I not trust Shadow? Shadow would never lie. You lie to me all the time, Yanis. Especially when it's like something you can definitely troll me with. Let's trade it back to... Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he's coming back to modding slightly. You're not Chato. Chato is all. I am Chato. Hey, Eva Scots. For those of you into rock music and who have nothing to do tonight, I know what I'll be doing. And I encourage you to do the same. The Dropkick Murphys will be live streaming a gig tonight at 11 PM GMT on like all of their social media. They are a bit sweary, but I like rock music, so I'll be watching the Dropkick Murphys live gig this evening. Or tonight. Just as something to do. Because I like music. And in wrestling news, I presume even non-wrestling fans have heard of WrestleMania, the biggest wrestling show in the world. That is going to be broadcast this year from the WWE's gym. Their training gym. With nobody there. Instead of like 90,000 people inside a massive stadium. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very weird. Is it on YouTube? I believe it is, Xander. I know they said like Instagram and Facebook for sure, probably YouTube. You good with music? Yeah. We live in weird times. But in a way, this might sound weird with everything going on. In a way, we live in interesting and cool times because a lot of media guys, and by media guys I mean like musicians and wrestlers and TV people, are having to learn effectively how to do YouTube and do live streams. Because like none of them have ever really had to. They're having to learn how to do things from their house, which none of them have ever thought they'd need to. There was a big show in Ireland, was it last night, Claire Byrne Live, and it was broadcast from her shed. Because she was self-isolating. Like, there's gonna be some weird things on TV for a while, where live TV is just a live stream, because you know, especially if businesses get closed, you know, live TV will just become a live stream. With everybody doing everything at once, and it's gonna be interesting to watch. It might get to the point where broadcasters start hiring YouTubers to do live streams for them because, well, you know how to do this. Could you maybe do like one of those streams? School's closed for 3 months. I'd say nice, Henry, but in the current climate, it's really not. I would much prefer people to be happy because schools are closing for, like, flooding or something. Not this situation. This situation should not make anybody happy. Relieved, yes, not happy. Yeah, just a little couple of programming notes. I know I've said that streams are going to be a bit weird. I might extend streams out to being all day, basically, if this continues for a while. But if I do that, there will be disruptions because I'm gonna be the person doing all the shopping. Teachers' bills to pay too. I mean, this is true, Sim, but there's a lot more going on than that. By the way, Simulate, are you doing the thing you have planned this evening? Oh, Kaelin. Or Kaelon. Could be either. I've been off 2 days, you climbed the walls, desperate to get back to work. Yeah, just like 1174. The one bit of advice I can give, and I'm in a uniquely good position to do this, is YouTube is great for background noise if you just need noise. You know, do your hobbies if you have any that can be done indoors. And if you don't, find one that can be done indoors. Like, pick up, if you got a wheel, pick up sim racing. If you've got a couple of joysticks, maybe have a look into flight simulation. This is true, Sim, but short-term pain. You get fed up at home. Absolutely. Like, everybody's gonna get very, very bored. I can guarantee you that. From experience. But you will find things to do and you will do them. I can also guarantee you that. You will make up things to do. Even if it's just, you know, chilling out on Discord or TeamSpeak with your friends. You know, that's a really good way to just waste some time. Start reorganizing your rooms. Absolutely, that can be entire days gone. Hey, King Custard, thank you for subscribing, by the way, King Custard. I got an email saying you did just before the stream, so hello and thank you. Thank you, whoever just, I think that was a follower on Twitch, but I don't have stream labels open enough. Rogue Slayer 37, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Feel free to say hi in chat. The internet's gonna struggle. Oh yeah, it's gonna be overloaded. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like streams are gonna go out with no problems. Even today's stream is struggling. Don't feel too bad with the symptoms they gave. Said to isolate. Yeah. Amazon's still sending stuff. They've got people working overtime. They're thinking of hiring even more people. Bars, cinemas, restaurants and clubs have zero business expenses for 12 months. Silver lining, yeah. Sim, are you still doing the thing you had planned this evening? Or has your plan changed because of reasons of it's you? Because I think now would be a good time to announce the thing you have planned if you're going to do it. He's gonna naff off and make a cup of coffee now and just leave for like an hour. Sometime between right now and next week. Your test's not very good today. Simply, I do not know. I haven't been checking that email account all that much. It's just like, sometimes I'll notice what's up on top. And today it was that King Custard had subscribed. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. There's nothing more important than health. if you're broke and healthy, you're a rich man. Or woman. You know, if you're broke but you're healthy, you've got all you need. If you're rich and have terrible health, well, you know, that's where your money's gonna go. Tractor won't get... It probably will, Henry. You're not at self school. Yeah, look. It's... I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to say this. It's fine to criticize the fact that schools in certain areas haven't closed, but it's going off advice from scientists. Different scientists will give different advice. There are no right or wrong answers. What am I doing with this field? Believe it or not, I'm plowing it. I know it's the cultivated texture. This is a culti plow, so I'm plowing it because it needs plowing. And this thing is faster than like a normal plow, so I'm using this. It's faster and more convenient. And because the grass doesn't grow in the autumn, at least from what I've seen, now is a good time to do it. Also, I've got ridiculous reserves of all things grass, so there is no loss to me with this. Sandy Bay might get delayed. There is a chance that, I don't think it'll happen, actually. But there is a small chance that mods, in general, could just stop coming out from... on the mod hub. Because, I mean, Giants are in the same position as everybody else. The most important thing the Giants can do is watch their own health. And if mods abruptly stop coming, please just... It's mine. Same. It's having a bit of a wobbly today. Possibly because everybody's on the internet because nobody has anything else to do. This could be normal for a while. It's just my internet having a wobbly and struggling to stream. Rather be in school and stay in lessons. Your mother has a weak immune system, has to stay until this blows over. She's on morphine because she's stable. You don't want to bring up germs home. Delvacity, I think, if you're in the UK, the advice is that you can stay home with no repercussions. A short delay, life keeps scrapping itself. Okay, what I'll do tomorrow then is I'll try just introducing a slight delay to the stream. I'll stream on low latency as opposed to ultra low and see if that helps. Which unfortunately will mean that there's going to be a delay between like chat and me, but I'll see if just upping the latency a bit will help. Absolutely, Ennis. I think they do have at least some systems in place to work from home. I don't know what can and can't be done, but I know of at least one person who does work from home for Giants. And as far as I'm aware, until they're told they can't work, until the German government steps in and says you cannot work, they will continue to work in the office. Yeah, Henry, it's my internet's having a bit of a wobbly because everybody's on it around here. Not just in my house, but like everything's running off internet at the moment everywhere. Except TV. TV is still fine. Yeah, Del, I would imagine they would allow you to... It would effectively be dropping out, but working from home. Because I believe the advice is anybody who lives with an at-risk individual should not be exposing themselves unnecessarily to risks. Might install explain again. 74, now is a really good time. If you're super bored, now's a really good time. Is Simulate going to come back to YouTube anytime soon? I don't know. Yeah, Sunderland and Junior are doing the same, Sim. I actually still follow on Twitter that they've shut the campus and everything's being done online. They actually had the resources when I was there in 2012, so they've been kind of set up for a situation like this, for the most part, for years. You got laid off? Oh, damn, Chad, that sucks. That really sucks. If you're in Ireland, there is an emergency social welfare form you can fill out and send off free post. You can literally write free post on the envelope. And it'll give you 6 weeks of social welfare. Because there's something like 100,000 people suddenly out of work at the moment. Carphone warehouse is shut. Airlines are running at, I think the highest capacity I've seen around Europe is 30%. I think what you'll see in the next few weeks, air travel just stop, and there will be no more flights anywhere. So flight sims will be all of the, there will be more people flying virtually, like even on VATSIM, than there will be in real life. So it's gonna be a weird world for a little bit, but we'll find a new normal after this is all done, and we'll accept the new normal. Every day gets the money back from the holiday you booked, hopefully. I mean, Henry, look at it. There are more sim races happening than real ones, yeah. When's not the Bahrain Grand Prix happening? Is it this weekend? But Henry, I was gonna say to Henry, look on the bright side. At least you didn't end up like my parents, who got stuck in Prague. Ryanair doing the best they can to not refund flights. They are doing all they can to get people home, which is, like, I did see, quite comically, Tenerife, by the way, straight up, Tenerife is currently under lockdown because it's part of Spain. But there was a ridiculous queue of planes going in there earlier on Flight Radar. I saw Aer Lingus were sending out their wide body, their big old A330 to Tenerife. Sorry, Gran Canaria, and the Canaries in general, to get people on and bring them back to Ireland. Like, every airline is deploying every resource they have to get people home. Hello, Paula. How's it going today? And once everybody's home, or as many people as they can get home, at the very least, then they're shutting down for a while. Also, this is gonna sound weird. Ryanair's my favorite airline at the moment. They flew my parents home. That's all I care about. They have earned my respect. All of them are Xander, yes. Every single one of them. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, not the Australian Grand Prix is the single biggest sim racing event ever. It's so weird and nice to have sim racing in the world spotlight now. Because I've even seen people who, like, I'm in my 50s and I don't like video games, but I watched this race and oh my god, I'm hooked. I want more of this. I didn't realize it could be this good. Yeah, that's what I love seeing. Yeah, we're living in weird times, but there's gaming is gonna see a new boom period at the end of this. Even during this. I've got holiday booked at the end of the month. Ryanair wanted to rebook it for later in the year. I mean, yeah, they're offering other dates because they don't want to... Like, they want to fly people. They're trying to do their jobs as well. They don't want... No, I don't want to fly ever again because of this. Because some people will. Some people totally will say that. So what Ryanair and other airlines are doing is offering people alternative dates later in the year so that they can get some sort of holiday out of this at the end. Every flight in and out of Poland is done. Bar rescue flights. There will be rescue flights ongoing. Yeah, if you see a flight going into a country that's in lockdown, that's a rescue flight. That's pilots braving it, and airlines braving it to go in and get people home. You applaud the people working those flights because they deserve your respect. They're just as important as... Yeah, they're rescue workers now. Airlines are all rescue workers. They're commercial still, but they're working rescues. Yeah, every country's going into situations they've not been in for years. Many, many years. Hell, Ireland's having to draw up new laws because the ones on the books currently don't deal with this. And guys, when this is all over, when we're at the other end of this, please, if you want to go somewhere, book flights. Don't be scared to fly. When we're at the other end of this, the airlines will need to get back up and running again. And the last thing I think many people want to see is airlines going out of business and people losing their jobs because they got unlucky. Their line of work was just unlucky. I don't want to see that. A flights from Edinburgh to London cancelled. BA flying them. There's still flights going there from... Yay. Yeah, BA's running, I think, 25% capacity. Unfortunately, I think that's the end of their 747s. There's going to be reduced capacity even when we come out the other side of this, so that's probably the end of the British Airways 747. It's possibly the end of the A380 as well. Hoping people want to go out and do things like never before. I think the normal we knew before this is gone. What we thought was normal before this will be gone. And we will find a new normal. And we will just accept that that's the way things are now. Because there will be... Yeah, everybody's going to be wired slightly differently by the end of this. There's probably going to be a lot more helpful people in the world. Hairs. The world's possibly... I would actually say probably going to be a more positive place. It might not seem like it now, but... You know, we're banding together as is, so... I think things will be more positive at the other end of this. ASG. It's not all doom and gloom. No matter what it looks like on any given day, it's not all doom and gloom. Look at the Italians banding together and singing from their balconies. Or the Dutch, at least trying and somehow not being able to organize anything. It's gonna be a reset. Or the Spaniards who started playing tennis out their window. And then lost the ball because they were like 6 stories up. I figured as much, SG. I think the Irish one's due about 8. You have a haircut booked Saturday, you need one, so you're gonna have to go. You don't need a haircut, you want one. Your gift might be to troll internet forums, be the guy that everyone can band together and hate to take their mind off things. I mean, that's possible. I'm gonna try and be that guy who just tries to entertain through all of this. And, you know, it's impossible to be 100% positive, but hey, let's try and make the most of it. Oh, everybody's suddenly got a hell of a lot more free time than they used to. Find hobbies, do hobbies, learn things. Even if your hobby is trolling internet forums. Hey GD, things are interesting everywhere. But personally, good. My parents got home safely yesterday afternoon. After being effectively stuck in Prague for 2 days. They went over on, what was it, Friday? Thinking things weren't as bad as they were. And while they were there, Prague shut down. They were literally the last 2 people out of the hotel. So, all of my Ryanair jokes are gone. I have nothing but praise for Ryanair at the moment. They are my favorite airline now. They brought my parents home. That's all I care about. But, you know, other than that, with me being interested in science, intensely interested in the varying responses, and the varying techniques that different governments are using to try and deal with this. Some more aggressive than others, and I'm not going to give my opinions on what I think is right, but it's interesting. Hey, 40. How's it going today, dude? By the way, if you're just tuning in, you're wondering why is there some lag and frame drops and extra blurriness over usual. My internet is struggling a small bit. I'm gonna see if I can fix it for tomorrow, but you know, there's a lot more people on the internet around here than usual. ASFTN. Your boss went to Aruba on Friday. They're stuck. He never was a good... I mean, he shouldn't have gone there in the first place, Chad. You have the... Oh, bale sledge. This pleases me. Bale sledge is good. 10 days at home. It should be 14 GD. Realistically, 14 is much better. Regardless of what some governments are saying. 14... like, 14 brings you to the point where your viral shed is minimized. There is viral shed been recorded up to 37 days after infection with the problem, but well, with coronavirus, but 14 is kind of a good average. It's on wheels for transport. Oh, very nice. Lots more days on Farm Sim. More days for people to send me a video. Oh, I'll check it out after the stream. Hey, Mr. JWB5. I'll check out the video after the stream. Assuming my internet holds up. it's not happy right now. Yeah, 14 days, 2 weeks. Because if it is coronavirus, after 14 days, viral shed is... 14 days is the average for viral shed. It can be higher, it can be lower, but 14 days is a good kind of middle ground, and that's when your infectivity is reduced. JW5, thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy, and I apologize about talking about apologize for talking about real world things. Hey, police march. Staying away from the media at the moment. That's probably a good tactic. What's this model I'm using? The plow? I think it's in game. Yeah, it's the TT multi-cultivator. That's an in-game piece of equipment. Gamer Buggy 94, hello. Meteor having a field day with this. Rightly so. It's important for them to, like, they're performing one of their key duties, which is education. Unfortunately, it's an area of expanding knowledge, constantly expanding knowledge, so some of what they say today will be wrong tomorrow. Some of what they said last week is wrong today. If the media gets something wrong at this point, it's because their best information is wrong. Platinum 17, it might well have been. How was my weekend? Stressful. Very, very stressful. Did not have a fun weekend. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I don't know. It doesn't feel kind of happy, but you know, it's still St. Patrick's Day, so get a bit of joy going if you can muster some. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. You don't get too stressed out. I would say minimize the amount of media you consume, but you know, don't do what I do and just watch it all day, because that's the worst thing you can do, and I need to stop. But my curiosity, it's become a habit now, because I was doing literally watching it all weekend to see if there were any updates on Czech Republic. I'd like the correct media. I mean, I'm doing the same thing that the broadcast media are doing. I'm going off the best information I have, some of which is wrong. So there may be times that I contradict myself from day to day. So take everything to do with the virus with a pinch of salt. In fact, RN, I don't know if you were here at the time, that video I was working on for the Science Channel, I have completely dropped that. I've completely dumped it because the information in it was wrong. It was correct at the time of publishing. At the time the paper was published, it is now wrong. More information has since come to light, and while while the results at the end were correct, the information that brought them there is wrong. The information in the introduction. And I don't want to rewrite the entire introduction because that's like 3 pages. So I've dropped that video basically because the information initially is wrong, and I don't want to have a video where the results are correct but the methodology is wrong. 90 days is impossible for a vaccine. They might be able to get it to human tests in 90 days, and that's quite slow. No, those sheets weren't all incorrect. A lot of it was just informationals. Drew, hello, sorry. A lot of those sheets were just background stuff, so luckily that's all correct. I know the science behind them. But the actual paper I was walking through with the videos is wrong. So I'm gonna play it safe instead, and the paper I'm gonna go through first is from 1977. And while again some information might be wrong, I can actually go through what information is wrong with modern contradictions of current best knowledge. Trying to cover something that's evolving daily was a bad idea. Nah, Drew's just making fun of me, Ryan, don't worry. We're already testing it. 90 days is not realistic. You're looking closer to 18 months for a vaccine. To be widely distributed. They might be able to distribute it in Israel alone in 90 days, but the kind of deployment you'd need for a vaccine for this, for it to work, is you're looking at about 18 months. That changes every day. Literally, information is different every day. Because, you know, a lot of the top scientists in the medical world are working on this, and the more they learn, the more we realize we don't know enough. And, you know, still a lot of question marks over like stuff that you would consider, like stuff that is considered kind of key. How long does it take the virus to go? It's one of those things we don't have a solid answer for. There's been recorded cases of the virus shedding, which it's not, the person isn't actively ill, but the virus is still being left out of the body for up to 37 days. And it could be longer in extreme cases, because, you know, we just don't know. And the big problem with the vaccines is we don't know if they're going to work. By the time they get a vaccine, not necessarily 1174. That's why social distancing is in place. Like, WrestleMania is on the moon now. Social distancing, the entire point of it is to buy time. In order for herd immunity to be effective, you need 60% immunity. 60% of any population. So it's possible to get herd immunity going by getting everybody infected, but that's a terrible idea. It's much better to try and keep the number of infections as low as possible using social distancing and ever-increasing restrictions, and buy time until that vaccine is available. That's what's key. That's what is going on in most, if not all, countries at the moment. Raw was weird. I mean, I was gonna think about watching Raw, and like, just before I went to bed, they started showing the entire Men's Royal Rumble, and it's like, well, no, I'm not I'm not watching a Raw that includes the entirety of a Royal Rumble match for 2 hours. No thank you, I'm just gonna watch some highlights tomorrow. Because I was gonna watch it today, and it's like, they're showing the Royal Rumble match. Oh, that's cool, they're showing some highlights. No, they're showing the match, the entire thing. Oh. Oh, that's... I get why, but still. What's the possibility of people dying with it? It depends on the person, their immune system, and a million other factors. There's... Basically, the older you get, and the more compromised your immune system or lungs are, the more likely it is that you will die, but it's not guaranteed. Sim, did you hear what happened to Saxton during the Stone Cold segment? Or did you see it? Well, I presume you saw it, but that because they're talking about it. Did you see what Stone Cold accidentally did? You watched Raw, yeah, but did you see what Stone Cold accidentally did? Because it might not have been immediately obvious. Because, if you watch Byron's reaction to the stunner, it wasn't the normal reaction. Stone Cold hit the nasties by mistake. What happened? Stone Cold kicked Byron Saxton in the nuts by mistake. While delivering a stunner. If you watch a clip of it, you can see Byron like start setting the stunner and then immediately start actually going, oh god, no. Stone Cold has apologized though. They give him a 5 though. I did see Becky. Yeah, I did hear Becky came out then, and also, I don't know if it was. It was described really badly by everybody who reviewed it. I can't tell if it was Becky or Stone Cold stunned Byron for a second time. Hopefully without kicking him in the nuts this time. On the bright side, it did make the stunner look a bit more devastating. Hey Massey, how's it going? They did promos. Is that what? I was wondering because people were all mentioning the ratings. I was like, what's this about? Why was Byron rating Stone Cold's pronouncements? Okay, that makes more sense. Much the same, Massey. Hello, bombs away. That's probably not a solution to coronavirus, by the way. For anybody wondering, bombing coronavirus probably won't work. Mainly because you'd be bombing people. Not a viable solution, if anybody was wondering. I'm sure somebody thought of that as a possible solution, but it's not a good one. Don't bomb people. Bold. The OC hilarious reminds me of old school Bullet Club. I think they've stopped caring. Sam, I really do. Although I did see what you sent me on Facebook. Because I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something and I suddenly got 3 messages from you, like, oh my god, it's... it's the American badass. Sam is very easily pleased when it comes to wrestling. He just wants cool Undertaker and old school Kane. After that, he is happy. You have been lurking. That is fine, Alex. Yeah, and some problems with Discord. Discord's gonna struggle for a bit, I think. Sim, did you see the inexplicable dark segment they did after the show? I don't know why they did it. They did a dark segment after Raw ended. And I have no idea who thought that was a good idea. Why do they keep bringing back Undertaker? Because ratings. As much as I love The Undertaker as a character, he needs to retire. This needs to be his retirement match. Please let the man rest. Let the man retire. He has been going for so long. He deserves it. He has earned a break. The only time I want to see Undertaker coming back after WrestleMania is to a completely packed out arena on Raw in several months' time to deliver a retirement speech. This is meant to be... I'm gonna stand by what I just said. I want, like, the only time I want to see him after Mania is to come out to a packed arena on Raw or SmackDown or both to deliver retirement speeches. Was I Imgur today? There is now a category called movies to watch and Imgurian cookbook. Yeah. There is a nightly. I didn't realize this until I think last night or the night before. There's now a Twitter viewing party for movies being arranged by a comedian here. So every night they boot up a different movie, watch it, and live tweet the movie using like a certain hashtag. I approve of that. Like, that's social distancing done correctly. Is like, you can be social, just do it online, dude. We have the resources so that you're not alone ever. Roman gets gold. I don't think any Goldberg match is ever good. The man has 3 moves and one of them is headbutting a door. Just took your dog for a walk. Welcome back to Aviation. You like the Roman and Goldberg as the main event? Means you can go to bed earlier. Yeah. Trying to burn his eyeballs out with sparklers. That too, actually. Yeah, that's 4 moves. Door, headbutt, spear, jackhammer, eye burn. Roman has it in the back. Yeah, and I'm really, really, really glad in a way that there's not going to be a crowd, because if there was, number one, that match would get demolished by the crowd immediately because nobody wants to see Goldberg as champion. What's worse, nobody also wants to see Roman as champion, so This blessing in disguise, it being held in the performance center in front of nobody. Gilbert retired. I know that Gilbert for Hall of Fame. Gilbert deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. Inducted by Goldberg, no less. Because that would be the ultimate joke. Is if they got Bill Goldberg to induct Gilbert into the Hall of Fame. And then the next year, or even the same year, have Gilbert induct Goldberg. What our scene will do. Part of me says he should lose because they need to get the Fiend over again. Part of me says he should win because then it makes the Fiend a lot more dangerous. Like, apparent, I've heard Yanis or one of the mods. Could you Google Translate? Could you like speak English, please? Into French. I question if he knows English. Yes, I always do this with people who come in speaking non-English. It's like, I don't know if you speak English, but please do. Because unfortunately, I don't speak French at all. I know je m'appelle baguette. Thank you, Simulate. Nothing against other languages, just I don't speak them. I'm not a polyglot. I think Cena should retire? I think he should be a special I think he should be like a special event guy. He should, to an extent, take the place of The Undertaker in the special events. I'd be happy with that. But I think kind of mainline wrestling, yeah, I think he should. I think the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee should also retire from wrestling. It's GCSE level. I never learned French. I never learned French. I learned German. We didn't have to learn any more than... We didn't have to learn any language. I chose to do German because it was fun. There were like 6 of us in the class. So... a lot of messing happened. Including one day when we all got bored and we made cheesecake, I think it was. And because we were so well behaved, the teacher started teaching us swears. You have to learn English, later pick up either Russian or German. English is like... I know I'm kind of biased here. English, I think, is the most important language to learn, because if you go into business, it's like the language of business. That might turn into Chinese in 10 years' time, but right now it's English. It's a good kind of international language. Like, Aviation runs pretty much all in English. What's in Matt's DLC? Everything bar the... I think it's 7. Okay. Do I smoke a pipe? No. That's an e-cig. Everything that was in the DLC in 17, with the exception of the Harvester, which is already in game, more or less, and the Cedar, which is also in game, more or less. Here's a new language now to learn, no other option. You see, in schools here you have to learn Irish. You have to learn the Irish language. So, Whereas most countries you learn a foreign language and maybe, or let's say, you learn your own language and a foreign language, usually like English or French or something. In Ireland you learn English and Irish, which are both technically national languages here. And very few people are fluent in Irish anymore. There's a few areas in the country where there's a lot of fluent speakers, but not the most popular language in the country. Even though officially it's the first language of everybody. Every Irish person, Irish is technically their first language. Although it's in reality English. In your school you learn English and French. Yeah, like every school is going to be slightly different. I know in England French is the most popular because France is the closest European neighbour. It's the closest foreign language, effectively. In Ireland it's English because technically to us it's a foreign... Like, as much as everybody in Irish... Everybody in Ireland speaks English fluently and kind of... It's our first language. It's technically a foreign language. But just everything here works in English, so it's fine. If history had been slightly different, Ireland would be a very different country. But if Ireland was never initially invaded and all that by the English, would have been the Vikings, which means I would have been speaking like Danish, potentially. By the logic, everyone in Ireland should learn Welsh. Incorrect, Massey. Wales is not the closest foreign country. It's Scotland, who also speak Gaelic. They hello, Severing. Scots Gaelic is very close to Irish, so I watched some programming in Scots Gaelic before, and it sounds near identical. There's like some blatant differences. To somebody who knows, like to somebody who's learned Irish, and there are Irish language TV channels here. Seem closer to you than Scotland? I am. But the shortest distance between the island of Ireland and Britain is in Northern Ireland, between Belfast and Stranraer. It's like 30 miles or something. 30, 40 miles. Scotland is technically the closest country. Because remember, up until recently, and it was fairly recently, the Constitution of Ireland said that Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, was for all 32 counties. It's only a fairly recent development that the Constitution here has changed to be 26. It was written in very different times. Let's go do some... Just grab that here. Let's go do some corn harvesting in field 1. Because that, I think, is ready to harvest. Is it not? It is not. It is not. I'm incorrect. In which case, let's grab the class. Shows how much you know about Ireland. Ireland's weird. Like, there's a lot of history here, but it's all kind of a bit everywhere. That is all of the fields sorted, isn't it? Yes. With the exception of field 6, which technically I could plow, but I don't want to. So, let's grab the cedar. Put the cedar on the deer as well, just for funsies. Well, the thing is, yes, in Ireland it's a mix of geography and history. Like, that's what complicates things here, is like, geography depends on our geography depends on our history. I think the closest 2 points is only about 15 miles. Yeah, it's not very far. Let's get grass selected, because I'm just going to regrass those fields. What effect does having grass in those fields constantly actually have? Grass. 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 It's 0.95 consistent. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind losing 0.05 of a unit of yield. Because I want to have just grass in certain fields. Which is probably, that's probably a consideration in real life too, is like, technically there's some yield loss, but it's so small that it's not really a concern. It doesn't stack. Like, what number it gives you is what it is. So it's a constant minus 0.05. So I'm not going to be losing extra yield year on year. It's just going to be like every year I lose a consistent amount. So it's going to be consistent yield. And then I think it's 5 years with grass and seasons, you gotta reseed it. I can't remember the exact number. I know in real life it's like every 10 years. Giants, please multi-dragon angle. Yes, 100% agree. The schools closed in the Republic of Ireland. They have been since Friday. Until at least the 29th of March. I'm be real, I'd be surprised if the schools open any time before June here. They reopen. If you're in school in the Republic of Ireland, expect to sit in school through the summer. They're gonna have to make time back. So you might end up having summer school. Just accept it. You know. The Giants did put out a statement. Was it yesterday? They put out the little announcement statement that they are monitoring conditions for FarmCon in July, and should they need to cancel, everybody will get a full refund on what they've paid, and they apologize profusely. You know, entertainment stuff outside of YouTube. Like, YouTube is the safe entertainment space. I don't need a team of any greater than literally myself. How long are school days in Ireland? Depending on the school, it's like 9 till 3, half 3 or 4 o'clock. Some schools close at 2. But it very much depends on the school. Like my primary school closed at 3, or finished at 3. My secondary school finished at half 3, and that was basically so that bus drivers had time to drop people at home and then come back to the other school, because there were 2 separate schools. And basically the same bus services ran to both. That means school summer. They might extend school days. Like, they will come up with a solution for school problems when this is all done. Hey, Hisham. Just FYI, as I've said this a few times, I'll say it again now just for people who missed it when I said it before, whether it's because they weren't here or they just didn't hear. Explain Streams, the World Tour, is going to be put on a temporary hold because, straight up, this is the honest reasoning. More people enjoy Farm Sim, and I want to try and provide as much entertainment to people as I can in this period. As things stand, streams will stay at the normal times, and I will continue to take Saturdays off just to give myself a break. However, things might change in the coming weeks and months, depending on what happens with the whole coronavirus situation. I'll be evaluating things myself and extending streams if I feel like people just need more escapism, effectively. And if I do that, Explain will return, because hey, I'm not going to play Farm Sim for 9-10 hours a day. That would actively make me angry. And instead of one Explain stream a week, you get one Explain stream a day, where I do like extra flights and stuff, because I want to just let people escape reality for a bit. But for now, it's all Farm Sim all the time. Actually care about your opinions. This channel has always been primarily Farm Sim, Hisham, so a lot of the people here prefer Farm Sim content, so that's basically my standpoint here, and why I'm converting the channel back to all Farm Sim all the time, on at least a temporary basis. If and when I move to most of the day streaming, there will be disruption to that, because I am the person who's going to be going into shops for the house for the foreseeable future. Because if straight up, this might sound bad, but it's true. If I get the virus, the house loses the least importance. Is that pesticide I'm spraying? This is seeds, Hisham. I'm seeding grass in these fields at the moment. If you're wondering why I'm seeding grass, it's because I have ploughed these fields. With seasons, you need to plough the fields periodically. Every field, including grass fields. And if a field has been ploughed and fertilized and seeded correctly, and you sort out the weeds, you get a slightly higher yield. You get slightly more crop out of it. So, with me doing grass like this, these were grass fields before, they're becoming grass fields again. I just needed to plough it in the middle there. Gets very boring if you don't have an interest in planes. I absolutely accept that. But, if I go to all-day streams, number one, the Science Channel's on hold, if that happens. But number two, I will be taking like an hour for lunch, just to get a bite to eat, at some point during the day. And, like, there will be some disruption when I need to go out shopping. Now, my mother has said she will drive me down to the shop and drive me back, but I will be the one in the shop, because basically, because my sister works with elderly people. She works with people who are very much at risk. She cannot do shopping right now. I do not want to see her going out shopping. My mother she's mostly fine, but I have concerns. What my family think of me streaming? They don't really care, to be honest. Especially not right now, honestly. It's just kind of accepted. But, straight up, if I get the virus and I'm out of action for a while, it sucks for me. It sucks for you guys, because you'll lose some entertainment for a while, but I stay in my room 90% of the time anyway, so isolating and quarantining isn't gonna be that big of an issue with me. Hello, Lee. Nice name, by the way. The temptation is there to say it all, but I have a feeling that's what you're attempting to get me to do. I get a feeling that's exactly why your name exists the way that it does, and I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. I'll still Discord on my phone. Absolutely, I'll still probably be sat on my computer a lot of the time, just doing things and playing games. But in terms of like streaming, that will stop if I do get particularly ill. That's your actual birth name. Your parents have one hell of a sense of humor, dude. I approve, but my God. Also, apologies if I insulted you unintentionally. Some people make names like that, including me. I have several accounts with names that read differently than they're written. I'm the logical choice to be put at risk. I am. That's the name of your birth cert. I'm not saying you're lying, dude. I'm saying that, wow, your parents have a hell of a sense of humor. And some people do make up intentionally silly names just to try and get streamers to say things that they shouldn't say. As I see fairly frequently. And those people usually get banned. But because your name, even if you read it out loud, Lee King, is not offensive in any way, you're fine. Also, I don't care if it's your real name or not. Legitimately do not care. My real name isn't Dave. But everybody calls me Dave anyway. More people call me Dave than call me by my real name. By the way, apologies for dabbing periodically. I do need to cough as well. And, you know, dab to destroy. Dab to beat coronavirus. I'm sure Yanis is incredibly happy to see me dabbing. Chad the Artist is partially a real name. You're not really Ernie. Yeah, a lot of people make up names that are real names, but not their real names. You look at Daggerwin, who dabs are superior. I'll be honest, I actually hate the dab meme, but right now, didn't see me dab because you were on Twitter. Well, yes, good news because I need to cough again. By the way, that's not, hopefully not corona cough. That's just, I smoked for a long time and now I'm doing the e-cig and my lungs, they are not happy. I mean, I think I'm okay. My cough hasn't changed too much over the last few days, so I think I'm okay. So when it changes, if it changes, that I'll get concerned and start barricading myself in here. Again, you're on Twitter. That's just Dave cough, yeah. But I mean, if you do normally have a cough, now's the time where you should be hyper aware of what your cough is like. This is the legitimate, like, I'm not a doctor, but it's a good medical tip for figuring out if something's wrong. if you normally have a cough, number one, you shouldn't, but if you do, make sure that you know exactly what your cough is like. Because if it changes, that's when you should get very concerned. Dave isn't my real name? Nope. My real name has 2 of the same letters as Dave, but it is not Dave. It also means my real name isn't David. Because David has 3 of the same letters. There you go, that's our first field donezo. I just want to check fertilization on these. Okay, field 7 could actually do with a blast of fertilizer. Field 5 could do with some lime, so... Ed, Dara, Daniel... Nope. Just name out things. Don't try and guess my real name, by the way, guys. You don't need to know it. If you needed to know it, I'd tell you. What benefit is there to knowing what my real name is? Let's grab this. Am I just calling it Rainbow? Rainbow annoys me when people call me that. You should put this in a satisfying compilation. Nothing I do is ever satisfying. There's a reason I am in a prime condition to not have to change any habits whatsoever for coronavirus. I'm not even kidding. I legitimately don't need to change many habits, if any. I usually sit in my room by myself. I usually don't go outside much, or as little as I can get away with. And you know, I've been doing social distancing since before it was cool. Landing Simulator has been making fun of me for being responsible and doing social distancing. But no, now everybody should do it. And I'm ahead of the curve. Ha! Hey Richard, how's it going, dude? I've defeated all of you. You have engaged in social distancing? Yes, be like Dave. So social distancing is great. You don't need to interact with people. You don't need to, you know, talk to people. You've been showing some symptoms, though. Hisham, if possible, I don't know what systems your country is running, but if you are showing symptoms, if your government is advising you to, please do contact a hotline or whatever system your government has for testing and get yourself tested. If they're offering tests to a lot of people. The UK, I think, is... This is the one place where I'll criticize. The UK is doing it wrong by not trying to figure out how many people actually have the damn virus. Should test everybody, not just those that are in hospital. Hey, Paul. Is being like Dave smart? For now, yes. Being like me and going out as little as you can get away with is actually really smart. You've called 111, they booked it. Good move. Like, being responsible is if you get symptoms, you call whatever hotline you're supposed to call to get tested or line up for a test or whatever system your country is running. You need to do that immediately or as soon as you can. I'm doing mostly fine, Paul. It's just the normal complaints, luckily. And the normal cough. Which is honestly more reassuring that it's just the normal cough. My lungs are screwed, but in the normal way. It's fine. I'm fine for now. A quick apology for not streaming Sunday or yesterday, but I had much bigger concerns. My parents were basically stuck in Prague, so... You're kind of scared? You shouldn't be, Hisham. It'll kick your ass for a while, most likely, but... If you do have it, if you're young and... You're young. If you're young and don't have any health issues... It's just self-isolate when you trouble one. That is terrible advice. Terrible, terrible, terrible advice. If it contradicts what the WHO advise, it's terrible advice. Straight up. The WHO advises test, test, test. Had McDonald's curry sauce with waffles for the second day. Good lord. To be fair, on Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. I literally all I ate was like 2 rounds of 2 toasted sandwiches. Because I was not hungry. I had like 0 appetite. And it was only when I had the first round in the toaster that I was like, I'm actually quite hungry. You can find it in the email address that's attached to the channel, actually. Hey, alright, if it's edible, I ain't gonna criticize you. I've eaten some weird stuff in my lifetime, so I can't criticize people who have weird food combinations. Yeah, I'm with you, Sham, there. As much as I'd like to rip on politics, it's best we don't. And trust me, in this situation I would love to rip on politicians. But no, I'm not going to, because it'll start arguments. It's not politics, really. I mean, no, it's not. To a certain extent. The UK's response has been atrocious. Boris is pretty much politics. I mean, Boris is going to get the blame for the UK response, but honestly, it's the advisors that are, or the supposed advisors that he has, that are the problem. The response has been so bad. It's politicians' policies that are political. Yeah. Like, I can go off the medical side of things to a certain extent. Hey, Robert. How's it going, dude? The biggest issue with everything is the people that are trying to minimize it. Like, they're the truly dangerous idiots. Like, I know I said, hey, just do the things that you're being advised to. And I'll still say that. Do the things you're being advised to. Keep your distance from people. Wash your hands. Does the UK have the facilities and the ability to test everyone here, though? Ireland pretty much does. Granted, we got less people, but we also got a hell of a lot less hospitals and less scientists. We'll make it work somehow. Hell, if I got the call tomorrow to go to the nearest hospital and work in the lab there for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, I would go. I would drop everything. I would stop streaming, I'd drop everything and go and help with this. But the most useful thing I can do is try and entertain you guys. You have no idea whether you have it or not. Won't find out unless you cast something else. After you've isolated, after having symptoms. Italy and them, like, yeah, my parents are in Prague and they got a big scare. So they're taking it very seriously. Most people would. Yeah, just... all you can do as an individual, keep your distance from people. Make sure you keep washing your hands. That's all you can do. And don't panic buy crap. It's a bit of advice that isn't given out enough. Stop panic buying crap. Would isolation be boring if you didn't have technology? I mean, I love reading. I've got the entire Game of Thrones series beside me. And books everywhere. So if I didn't have computers, I'd read. Constantly. Like, granted, I'd probably go through all my books 3 or 4 times, but I'd read. Just books. You hate reading? I love reading. I don't do it enough. Right, that should be this field done. Yep. So fields 2, 7, and 5 need fertilizer. Tried to like them, but you never could. You didn't find the right books then, Aran. Everybody should like reading. It's just that you need to find the right books to enjoy. Fertilizer. Game of Thrones is amazing. Yeah, Song of Ice and Fire is an amazing series of books. What's even better is you can actually, as you read through it, from A Game of Thrones to Dance with Dragons Part 2, you can see George R. R. Martin progressing as an author. You can see that his writing style changes as you go through. You liked Howard Henry? Yeah, I mean, I don't know any book recommendations to give you. Like, A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones is really good. That's a strong point in science. It'd be under biology, but it's like hyper-focused. Hey, Oxy! How's it going, dude? Looking forward big time to Shamrock... or not Shamrock Valley. Sandy... Now I'm getting them mixed up again. Oxy, this is your fault. Somehow. Kind of blame Oxy for me being an idiot. I'm looking forward big time to Sandy Bay. I'm in my Sandy Bay or new map isolation period too, because I want to like open up the map for the first time and be like, wow, look at all these cool things that I didn't know about. After that, then I'll probably watch Darkman's videos on. Let's hope Giants don't get called out of the office. Far as I'm aware, actually, they do have a system by which they can work remotely. Which he was saying some people in Giants are working remotely as is. Let's be fair, if Giants need to shut down completely, there is always Facebook for a temporary emergency release of Sandy Bay. Like, knowing you, and I know Dal's been testing for you, he knows what he's on about. He's a guy that can... I don't know, Dalvacity. I know they have certain systems that definitely can work remotely. I don't know if all of them can. Although now it really looks like the decision to delay the next Farm Sim game was inspired. Because, straight up, they'd probably have to delay if they didn't already. Excuse me, can you not be on the... There we go. JTAV's mod got released today? Yes. Well, JTAV's trailer did. When is JTAV's actual mod coming out? Because Jay was saying it's a trailer. So, well, what's the trailer for? Big, give him an elbow bump, Chad. That's acceptable. That's safe and acceptable. Even if there wasn't an outbreak. GG. Bale sticks and animal trailer. Ooh, when are the bale sticks and animal coming out? I did this joke on Giants Discord and Marcel got angry at me. Marcel was not impressed by the joke. I forget about the hidden fence in that bush. The headline. Also, apologies if you don't like Slurry, because I've been spamming it a lot recently because it's kind of something that needs to be done. This farm produces insane amounts of Slurry, so I'm going to make use of it while I can. And what I can is pretty much always. I'm just going to get progressively more insane Slurry tankers. So that this farm runs 100% organically. Because I is a responsible farmer. Have I tried out the new season's lighting? I haven't. I don't think I have. I might have and not noticed. But as far as I'm aware, no. Like I'm using the mod up version of Seasons, so if they change the lighting in the other version, I can't remember what website it's on. Then I haven't tried it yet. Also, I've kind of been on Shamrock Valley because all of this. Why am I not using the Abbey? Because there's a simple reason. And your hub, guys, redone the lighting for Seasons, working for XMLs. Ooh, yeah. Hop onto that tonight then. I'll hop on and give that a download tonight. Yeah, the reason I'm not using the Abbey is because the Abbey isn't supported by Manure System. 4D has said he's working on it and it's nearly done. It's not done yet. And I want to use the Manure System mod because I think it's a really cool mod. Also, this... Like, I know you're not supposed to touch your face, but my beard is really itchy. I might shave my beard off for the first time in... I might go clean shaven for the first time in like 10 years? Or 11 years? Would I not use the high spec that's supported? Yes, I would, if I remembered to download it. But I didn't, so I'm not. I'm gonna probably stream on Shamrock again tomorrow and get the high spec. That's the entire reason I'm not using it, is I completely forgot to download it. Because I am pro rememberer of things. Also, like, if memory serves, it came out over the weekend when I was kind of busy being a condensed ball of stress and panic. Because, you know, over the weekend I kind of had bigger concerns than remembering what farm sim mods I wanted to download. Hence why I didn't stream. I wonder how much Slurry... I'll check how much Slurry I've left once I get this filling up again. Because I'm curious. I have a curiosity. That should do. Oh, have I moved back too far? There we go. And we have remaining in this pit 171,000 litres. So we're not running out of slurry anytime soon. Yeah. I'll reboot it after the stream. I just don't want to go through the faff of having to reset up the YouTube stream, because it hasn't killed the YouTube stream, and that's kind of the main thing for me. Plus, Steve's new map is called Lord Mappington of Mapville, Mapshire. True fact. Although it prefers Mappy McMapface. Giants Editorville. I really want somebody to release a map that is just some insane name that doesn't make any sense. Like, I would love to see a map come out on the bottom that's just ASDFGHJKL. What's your map called? Run your finger across your keyboard, that's the name. To be fair, I think my internet's been a bit faffy all weekend. I just haven't really been doing anything that I'd notice it with. Is that? No, that is... Okay, that is good. The QWERTY map, yes! And then, like, the French and Germans can have the AZERTY map. Did that song just sample Crash Bandicoot? I swear this song just... Yeah, this song has a sample of Crash Bandicoot in it. That's kind of amazing. I approve. Lovely clear stream. I mean, Green Dragon, I know you're lying because the stream is... Everything is struggling. My internet is struggling, so the stream's kind of ass quality, and I apologize, but it's the best I can do today. I might be able to get it better tomorrow, I don't know. It really depends on how the internet wants to behave tomorrow. Everything's kind of under stress here. With kids off school, they've all been thrown onto the electronic babysitter, also known as the internet. Bang on. It's literally saying on my streaming screen, hey, your keyframes are wrong, you might get buffering. Actually, why are my keyframes wrong? They shouldn't be wrong. I thought I had my keyframes set up automatically. Bit of a mad hat. Yeah, I can imagine. Not fun times to be a parent. Not fun times in general, to be fair. But hey, humanity has survived worse. Some people, most people, will survive. I'm not controlling keyframes restreamers. Ah, that might be a problem. Yeah, it's shouting about keyframes. Simulon, have you spotted the time? Because I just have. Would you like to announce the thing? Trying to keep them occupied is tricky. Yeah. I mean, try and give them some, like, reading or something to do. Yes, you're eating a burger. Well, would you like to announce the thing anyway? Because I'm going to finish the stream once I get back up to the top yard. If you haven't announced it, I will. I gotta be having stew soon. Delicious beef stew. From beef that I froze on Friday. Because I forgot to put it into the freezer. Tough trying to keep them from killing each other. Yeah, I can imagine. So guys, that is going to do it for today. But that is not all of your stream entertainment goodness. Because, I will tell you right now, because Simulate will not, because he is a git. Simulon is going to be streaming. Mr. Simulon 8 on Mr. Burger Eater himself will be streaming at literally some point. Not due to the ongoing issues, oddly. He has been planning to stream either way. It's just the ongoing issues make it look like convenient timing. No, he is going to be streaming. So I'm going to finish the stream here, and I'll get the high spec downloaded tonight, because like this being empty is convenient. I'll get the high spec downloaded after the stream, reboot my internet at some point this evening, and hope to high hell that it behaves itself a bit more tomorrow with a bit more latency involved. Until then. And I'll be on Shamrock again tomorrow for reasons. It would have been Monday or Sunday. Yeah, new streams at literally some point. But he's going to be streaming, so keep an eye out on probably Twitch and YouTube. I don't know which one he's going to stream on. I don't think he knows at the moment. But he's going to be streaming. Until then, stay safe and goodbye. But, oh, yeah, one more thing. Marble racing has suddenly taken off as a sport, and I love the insane things people are trying to do to, like, replace sports at the moment. That'll do. Bye-bye.